What are the drawbacks to creativity? Well, creativity is defined as the tendency to generate or recognize ideas, alternatives, or possibilities that may be useful in solving problems, communicating with others, and entertaining ourselves and others. Creativity is typically thought of as a positive trait, an attribute that has the ability to bring change to the world. At young ages, humans are able to express creativity easily. Children are not bound by limitations from the realization that not everything is possible, like adults. We live our lives surrounded by our own innovations, and creativity is what gives rise to these said innovations. As innovation expedites, our weaponry becomes more advanced. No good deed goes unpunished, am I right? We have created a lifestyle that is encompassed in the need to use said innovations, a lifestyle that this world cannot support. In 2010, 17.56 metric tons of CO2 was emitted. Of course, the only solution to the problem of human innovation is more innovation. After a resource is exhausted, we are forced to exploit a new resource, if only to sustain our craving for growth. But the escape is only temporary, as every innovation eventually leads to new shortages. We clear-cut forests, so we turn to oil. Once we exhaust our fossil fuel reserves, we'll start driving electric cars, at least until we run out of lithium. Although human creativity has generated a seemingly impossible amount of economic growth, it has also inspired the innovations that allow the growth to continue. Our lifestyle has become so expensive to maintain. Every new resource now becomes exhausted at a faster rate. This means that the cycle of innovation has to constantly accelerate, with each breakthrough providing a shorter reprieve. The end result is that our creativity isn't just increasing the pace of life, it is also increasing the pace at which life changes. People often reject creative ideas when espousing creativity as a desired goal. Creative ideas are both novel and useful, and novelty is the key distinguishing feature of creativity beyond ideas that are merely well done. Yet the requirement that creative ideas contain novelty can also promote attention in evaluators' minds when they judge whether to pursue an idea. Indeed, evaluators have a hard time viewing novelty and practicality as attributes that go hand in hand, often viewing them as inversely related. There are several reasons why. Practical ideas are generally valued. However, the more novel an idea, the more uncertainty can exist about whether an idea is practical, useful, error-free, and reliably reproduced. When endorsing a novel idea, people can experience failure, perceptions of risk, social rejection when expressing that idea to others, and uncertainty about whether their idea will reach completion. So people can have negative associations with novelty, an attribute at the heart of what makes ideas creative in the first place. On the left, we have an iPhone SE, and on the right, a Galaxy S7. There was no real overhaul of either one. The iPhone SE is literally just an iPhone 5S, and the Galaxy S7 is just a refined S6. So I guess if it's broke, don't fix it. Right? If you are creative, you should have many ideas when tasked. Having a lot of ideas competing against one another can lead to confusion. If you believe that you have a number of excellent ideas, it can be very difficult to discard some and pin your hopes on a single one. You might end up trying to mix your ideas in an effort to get them all into one final product. This could lead to a lack of focus and impact. You might find that instead of strengthening a message, you dilute it. Another problem that might arise if you are in a particularly prolific frame of mind and you are handling multiple projects at the same time. Your designs begin to look alike. Many find that discarded ideas from one project might pop up in another one. Acceptance of authority, being obedient, respectful, and polite, following rules, and accepting others in power is indicative of a non-creative person. Creative students make judgments and evaluate situations for themselves, which means that they do not often do what they are told. Their actions are based on their own beliefs and their own desires. On one hand, educators praise intrinsic motivation while dreading some students that are actually intrinsically motivated. There are many drawbacks: destructive innovations, the innovation paradox, an overcluttered mind, unfinished ideas and projects, lack of focus, procrastination, and an awful acceptance of authority. However, we breed people to be creative. Even though creativity and imagination dwindle at young ages, we grow up in schools honing our skills to become better abstract thinkers and problem solvers. Creativity is where our revolutions come from, and without it, we would not be where we are today. Innovation, independence, and revolutions are results of creativity, but so is war, poverty, famine, and nuclear weapons. Creativity should not be looked at as an honored/glorified attribute, but maybe rather as a double-edged sword. It is what drives us forward, but it is also what holds us back. Creativity is the only solution to the very real problem of creativity. Thanks